Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Reality Unloaded podcast, where we'll be covering Drag Race All Stars 9, Episode 5, Property Queens. It's your girl, Keeks.
I'm Lina D.
I'm Brandon.
And I'm Michael.
And again, this is the Reality Unloaded podcast, where we'll be covering Drag Race All Stars 9, Episode 5. Luckily, it's just one episode this time, guys. We caught up. Yay us. Before we start, make sure to hit that like button, share, comment, subscribe to our channel. And if you want to stay in the loop with Reality Unloaded Podcast, make sure to follow us on Reality Unloaded Podcast on TikTok and Instagram. And without further ado, we're gonna get right into this. And again, the episode is 5. I don't think we're halfway through the season. I think there's at least 6 or 7 more episodes to go. So that should be interesting.
But there's already some tension roaming in the house now, isn't there?
Right. Yes, definitely. So we start the top of the episode with the queens coming back to the workroom, and Angeria just got cut again by Roxy and Vanjie. And Angeria pretty much shares with everybody that this one actually did bother her. She feels some type of way about it because she's the only queen that's gotten cut twice at this point, and she doesn't feel like she is the front runner. How do you guys feel about Angeria being upset? Do you understand why she's upset? Do you feel like Roxy and Vanjie are, I guess, like within their right to block Angie again? How did y'all feel about that?
I mean, in all honesty, I think Angeria is one of the front runners, so I'm not like surprised that she got cut for this week. I think if anything, just take it with pride and just realize that you're stiff competition for the girls, in my opinion.
Lina?
Yeah, I understand why she's upset. Like she's being blocked from additional badges, but she's coming in strong. Like she's really elevating her look. She's funny. She's really well-rounded and really strong in a lot of different departments. So, and Roxy said it was an eye for an eye. So I think it was a retaliation cut this time around. So,
and before you go, Michael, but don't y'all think that like what Angie was saying was kind of accurate, where they were pretty much protecting their friends as well? Because she did feel like it was sort of BS. Like, oh, so out of everybody, I mean, understandably so, Roxy and Vanjie were gifted badges by Chanel and Gottmik. So it makes, not Chanel, I'm sorry, by Gottmik and Nina. So it makes sense why they wouldn't want to cut them back off. And obviously Chanel's the only one without a badge. But I did feel like it was kind of fair for her to be like, well, why you didn't cut like Plastique or Georges? Go ahead, Michael. What did you think?
So I agree. I can see why Angie could have been a little salty, understandable. But again, I feel like she's taking it pretty well though. Like as like upset or whatever as she may be, she's not like being shady or weird or like, I feel like she's taking it like a trooper. I feel like she knows she's strong competition for sure. And I would be annoyed too if I was chopped twice in a week. So for that, I don't think she's doing too bad. I think she's taking it well.
I will say a funny moment, and I'm going to show a reaction of it. Roxy pretty much says like, it's all love. I still love you to Angie, and Angie doesn't say anything back. And then we get this image of Vanjie kind of being like, oh, not her not saying it back. And I thought that was funny.
To be fair, though, I think that's like playful. It just happened. So, of course, you're going to be a little like, I don't really think that Angie is like terribly like mad and wants them to fail now because they cut her.
No.
I mean?
Yeah. I don't think it's as bad as like,
if that was me,
you.
If that was me, I'm not forgiving you. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. So I'm just saying my own personal, she's taking it way better than I would.
Well, I'll say this. It definitely wasn't as bad as Q and Saphira. when Saphira won and Q Saphira literally told Q like I love you, and she was just like
Q
salty,
was
salty.
salty.
Oh, it was bad. It was real bad. I won't say it's as bad as that, but I understand them being upset after losing something or being cut off. It makes sense. But all right, moving on from there. So then we get to Chanel obviously asking the question like, where the hell did this whole thing about alliances or me having an alliance with Angie come about? And it turns out it was Roxy again. It all started from Roxy. And I'm like, of course, here's Roxy stirring up the drama when there hasn't been any, honestly. Like they've been very kind and playful to each other, but them obviously doing the mathematicals or Roxy being the mathematician of the group, she started this whole thing over again. And I'm like, so I thought
It's
that
your
was funny.
girl.
Hey, she's providing entertainment. So I'll give her that, and I have some points for my girl too. Like, don't worry, it's coming. But how did y'all feel about Chanel being completely lost? Would y'all have felt as lost as her? What would y'all have done? Go ahead, Michael, starting with you.
So I feel like I'm Chanel. I'm not following all this. I don't know who's talking to who. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what clicks are happening. I just need a damn badge. Like, and I feel like that's where Chanel's at, because like I don't care who's hanging out with who, I don't care who's voting for who, give me a damn badge. And I feel like that's where Chanel's at this very second, at this time.
Yeah,
I have
what
to
about
say,
you?
I absolutely love when they're like all talking and they're kind of showing Chanel, and she's kind of like just dazed away, like she thought she knew where the game was. Yeah, like she's just like, what is happening? I mean, I think you definitely see friendships forming. I don't know that it's necessary alliances, but there's definitely closer friendships forming. I think Roxy is starting to rub some of the girls the wrong way. Like, I definitely see it with Vanjie and Angie. So we're going to see where it happens with this house.
Yeah, I don't think she was wrong in like calling the friendships out at all, because at the end of the day, it's the truth. We all see it while we're watching. So of course they see it in the workroom. So I wasn't surprised at all.
Yeah, same. All right, so moving on from Chanel being lost as hell, we see the Teletubbies with Rue. This is part of the mini challenge. They have a little Soul Train dance off, and the winner gets 2,500. Somehow Gottmik won the Soul Train, which I thought was very interesting. I was like, how are we judging this, Rue? But hey, whatever. I want to say something though. Poe is the only Teletubby that got down. Poe had the moves. Everybody else, bye. It's a freaking chop. How did y'all feel about the Teletubby moment?
I literally was like, did I smoke something? Like, what the hell is happening? It was just
like, hold
so
on.
random. And I was like, Teletubbies, what? They got this approved? But I mean, more power to them. It was a fun camp moment.
The Teletubbies were at DragCon before, so
yeah, right. So I didn't know that until like I found that out. But it's just it's just so random to me. I was literally like, am I high right now?
they gotta support Tinky Winky.
See, I thought it was so playful. I thought that, you know what? I thought the queens were being really conservative with their moves. Like, I wanted to kind of see a little bit more. Like, I know they had like just the runway to walk with the Teletubbies, but I thought it was a very playful challenge. Definitely broke up some of the tension again that you were sensing at the beginning of the episode. Yeah, so it was really fun.
Yeah, it was cute.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't love it. I was like, what is this for?
Are you too young for the Teletubbies, Michael?
No, I watched the Teletubbies as well.
Okay, I just had to make sure.
Hold on. But now that you mentioned that they were at DryCon and stuff, that kind of like makes it make a little bit more sense to me. But I literally was like, what is happening right now? I was so lost. Ask Brandon. I literally was watching and I was like, what is this and why? But yeah. I mean, makes sense. But
Yeah.
at first initial like glance, I was like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah. And shout out to my girl Lala. That one was my favorite. But she was stiff as hell. I was like, who the hell is under that Lala suit? They cannot break it down. It just was like, okay. Poe literally, I don't know what is it? Oh my god, pit crew member was under the Poe suit, but he was killing it. All right, so we move on to the maxi challenge. So before they get broken up into pairs, Rue tells the queens that Angeria has the privilege to choose the pairs because she was cut twice. So at least she has some advantage there. And then Angeria chooses the pairs, and she's pretty fair. So Angeria chooses Vanjie. Then she pairs Georges and Gottmik. And then you have Chanel and Nina. And then you have Roxy and Plastique. How did y'all feel about Angeria's decisions? Would y'all have tried to be a little bit more strategic, or would y'all have played nice in hopes of not getting cut again?
If I was Angeria, I would have played this strategically. I would have said, here, I'm going to place this one with this one, this one with this one. In the case that this one wins or it's a tie again, like, here's my best chances. I would have really, like, mapped it out. Granted, I don't know if she got enough time to do that, but I would have planned that in my hotel room, to be honest. I think she did it way too fair, because she even made the comment like, I feel like everyone's happy with their partnerships and, you know, everybody has a fair chance. I get it, it's for charity, but like, I need you to pull the calls out.
I wonder if she knew in advance that she was going. Yeah, so I think she was doing it on the spot. So even being strategic, I think she did what she had to do. Like, I don't think she put much thought in it. I think she was trying to be good with all of the queens, keep it, vanilla. Like, she has been having quite a bit of tension with being snipped. So I think I understand her move. I used to say that. And, it was fun seeing her work with Vanjie, because I've never seen their dynamic together.
So this goes back to my point that I was saying before about Angeria, how she's like really being a good sport about it. And it was for like reasons like this. Like, she paired up everyone with someone that would work with them well. And she didn't have to do that. And that's what I mean. Like, she's taking it with such grace, and like, yeah, of course she's probably like a little annoyed, but like, she's not taking it out on everyone or trying to like shake the game up in like some weird way. Like, she's really taking it like a champ. And I feel like this was a perfect example of that.
I will say this. I mean, she chose her partner first. Most importantly, she was like, okay, who am I going to mesh with the most in this next challenge? And I thought that was in her best interest. So at least she thought of herself first over the other queens. But yeah, I definitely agree with you, Brandon. I would have tried to mix it up. Like, I would have paired up Nina with Plastique, Chanel with Georges, maybe not.
I would have chosen Roxy. I would have chosen Roxy if I was Angeria. So that way I know, okay, you're not going to cut me again, because if we end up in the top, you can't cut me. Or okay, I can't cut you, whatever. Like, that's how I would have like played it out in my head, I think.
That's actually really good. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of putting them together. But okay, so Rue puts obviously they pick their pairs, and then Rue breaks it down that the queens are going to have to bring realness to real estate, and they're going to be picking certain obscure cities and towns or whatever to sell property at. And we're gonna go through those right now. So the choices were between Salem, Massachusetts, Tumbleweed, Texas, Frosty Bits, Alaska, Gator Glades, Florida. If y'all had to choose them just based on the prompts, what would y'all have chosen? Go ahead, Michael.
Salem.
Okay, Salem.
Easy. Yeah.
Lina?
Same.
Oh, Brandon, same.
I probably would have done one, either the Texas or Florida one. Like, to bring in like that. Yeah, that's what I would have done. I think it's what you could have more fun with it versus, again, Salem is very a narrow path, and that's why I would have gone with Texas or Florida.
Yeah.
She's artsy.
No, I would have chosen either the Gator Glades, Florida, or Salem, Massachusetts. Definitely not Frosty Bits as Alaska. I felt like that one was like the prompt that was set up for anybody to fail, but I feel like certain people in the cast could have excelled at that. It just was not in Gottmik and Georges's favor. So, and then speaking of what the queens chose, so Salem is given to Chanel and Nina. Plastique and Roxy end up taking Tumbleweed, Texas. Angie and Vanjie take Gator Glades. And then again, Georges and Gottmik took Frosty Bits, Alaska. And so they get working into the workroom. They're brainstorming everything and brain farting, to say the least, for some. And this is when I noticed, like, okay, Georges and Gottmik, they are in trouble because they're scrapping ideas. And granted, that's everybody's like brainstorming session. You're not gonna get it all together right there and then. But I was like, okay, this is clearly a foreshadowing that this pair is not going to do great. How did y'all feel about Georges and Gottmik's work ethic or dynamic?
I mean, I feel like they were trying. You can only do so much if you're just not like a comedy person. I think Gottmik is more like an improv comedic person as opposed to like, here's a script, let me lay it out and all that stuff. And we all know Georges is just not that girl when it comes to the comedy challenges either. But I feel like just these challenges in general, like the acting challenges, I hate them. I think they should do away with them. Let's get more roasts. Let's get more something. This is just not my favorite, to be honest.
But it's not an acting. It's it's an improv and marketing challenge if you really think about it. Like I didn't think of it as
but they
acting.
still have a script that they make, and they have to remember the lines, and they have to do blocking and the set and all that stuff. I mean, I think like I guess they could have one challenge a season is fine, but it's just not my personal favorite.
Gotcha. Anybody else? No, forever hold your
Flop.
peace. Okay, we're gonna move. Oh, go ahead, Michael.
Flop.
Oh, okay, got it. Thank you so much for your input. So we move on, and at this point, like Plastique and Roxy, they're getting into their characters. You know, Plastique looks so ridiculous. But Angie and Vanjie notice like they're doing hillbillies too, and they're a little bit worried because they're like, okay, depending how this go, like we might be too similar. They're gonna compare us too much, and that's what it ended up being, honestly. But I wasn't as worried just because I'm not gonna lie, like Plastique's Texas accent, Southern accent is so bad that I was just like, what the hell are we talking about? I'm sorry, she looks so crazy. I can't even look at the image. But did y'all think that they had any reason to be worried? I mean, yeah.
Honestly, I didn't think they had to be worried. Like, I definitely think overall, Angie and Vanjie are a funnier group. But Plastique and Rock, I don't know what Plastique switched in her head to go into character, but she was truly such a surprising like commercial. Like I did not see that coming out of Plastique, and I don't think any of the other queens expected it. So I think, again, even though they're both doing hillbilly, in my mind when I was watching it, I was like, okay, Angie and Vanjie are gonna kill it. Like, but surprisingly, I wasn't a fan of their script at all. Like I just didn't really get it. Whereas like, again, Plastique killed it. Like I'm so surprised, but she did great.
Wait, you didn't get Angie and Vanjie's like?
Well, yeah, we'll talk about it. Yeah,
we'll talk about it. Anything else, guys, before I move forward?
I will say I completely expected Vanjie and Angie to beat whatever Plastique and Roxy were doing. Like, you know, they're both from the South. Like, they're both country. Like, they both like they were like, and their confidence really, like, I was feeding off of that. I was like, oh, they got this. Like, they're gonna be good. I did not expect for Plastique to come through the way that she did, because Roxy did good, but I think Plastique was definitely the star of that skit for sure. And I think because it was so ridiculous that it just made it that much more. It was so bad that it was good, and that rarely happens. But she did that.
Oh, y'all are gonna be surprised at my thoughts. Okay, all right,
Oh,
Brandon,
of
go ahead.
course, of course. We all know what your thoughts are gonna be, but
No,
yeah,
you don't. You don't actually, but
we'll
okay.
we'll see. We'll see.
You don't actually. Go ahead. What were you gonna say, Brandon? You were gonna hype up Plastique?
No, I was. I think Plastique
Okay.
really carried. But yeah.
Okay. All right. Moving on. All right. So we see the queens obviously filming their real estate promos, commercials, kind of things. And Carson was there with that lady. I don't know. I didn't know her. I don't think the queens knew her when they mentioned her name. But hey. And yeah, again, like Georges and Gottmik were really the most unorganized or disorganized group out of all of the four pairs. Everybody, you know, had their moments. Obviously, Chanel and Nina, they started off a little rocky, but it wasn't anything crazy. Like they did pretty well. Plastique and Roxy, they did well, and so did Angie and Vanjie. But Gottmik and Georges, I was like, what is happening? Like, y'all didn't think who was gonna say what, or it was very
I think
confusing just watching it.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. Like, not only were they unorganized, but their characters were just characters that were themselves. And I think
Mm-hmm.
when you do that, you're relying on what you already know. But if both of them would have just been like completely opposite of what their drag is, like I think Rue mentioned this during the panel where Rue told Georges, like, if you would have dressed up as like a guy that's completely opposite from you because you're just gay. Like, but if
Mm-hmm.
you would have tried to like do that, that would have been hilarious within itself. So I think, yeah, if they would have just gone opposite of what they always do, I think they could have knocked it out of the park, but unfortunately they didn't.
Also, what the hell is Georges wearing? Whose clothes are these?
Oh my God, I was
I
just
was
gonna
gonna
say that. I was
say,
gonna say
oh man, I
before
was
we
gonna say the
change,
exact same
what
thing.
who put Georges in this look? It
I
was
don't
the
know.
coat was so long, the skirt was long. It was just so weird
I
for her
mean,
proportions to
Gottmix
be
wasn't
so
great
small.
either.
I
Not
think
great at
both
all,
of them.
but
I think
better.
there was no direction. I think
But
there was
better.
absolute. Yeah, Gottmik, it definitely looks better than
That little
Georges,
Cindy
but
Lou Lou dress that Georges is in is not okay. That is not okay. Mm-mm.
I just
Yeah.
think there was no direction with what they were doing. Like I don't even really get it. Like they didn't really embrace the Alaska cold. I think they could have done so much. They could have done something much different and it would have come out better.
Like
And I just think
a fur coat or something. Like, give me cold.
yeah, they could have played off of like
Mhm.
Elsa, Frozen, or something. It just nothing was working here.
All right. So after they are done
Sorry,
filming,
let me
ooh,
add a point.
go ahead.
Georgia girl, I still love you. You're still my fave. Sis, you got this.
Okay, I'm sure. Yeah, give your girl words of encouragement. You know, I mean, she already has the seal of approval from RuPaul. Like, you were born to do drag. Like, there's only 4 queens in the entire Drag Race world that have received that note from Ru.
And
So
she's fun.
yeah, she is fun. So we get to back to the workroom. You know, the queens are, you know, discussing how they did. Roxy and Plastique are pretty much just saying like that they got good critiques. And the workroom is big, but not that big. Like the queens definitely hear one another. And Vanjie overhears them mention Florida. And not that they were talking down on Vanjie and Angie's group, but Vanjie's like, oh, here go Roxy with the shade. Like, what now? You know, kind of thing. Like, why are y'all talking about Florida? Y'all had Texas. And I get where Vanjie was coming from, honestly, but I could also understand like just feeling like, are you guys comparing yourselves to make yourselves feel better? Like we did do two different states and they did go about it very differently. Um, in my opinion, like, yes, they did the country accents, they were a little honky tonky, whatever you want to call it, but I felt like they both did it at very different angles and point of views. So then Roxy, like after, Vanjie just stays quiet, she's like, you know what, I'm just gonna sit back, continue doing my face. We even have a conversation between Angie, Chanel, and Nina talking about who they would block next. And then Roxy sits down to do her face and goes, Vanjie, I was just talking about Florida, not exactly your group. You should know me better than that. Honestly, that would have set me off right there. I would have cursed out Roxy if I was Vanjie. And shout out to Vanjie for holding her tongue because I would have been like, girl, I've been stopped talking about it. Like here you are sitting down, bringing it up again. Go ahead, Brandon.
I'm sorry, but your girl knows what she's doing. She is putting little bugs here and there and like saying like, oh, I wasn't doing that. Because that's why Vanjie was like, oh, here goes the shit talking on other people. Like, and I get it. She's trying to provide like drama and stuff, but I think Roxy needs to be a little more careful in what she's saying because again, yeah, they're like doing two different country things and it could have blended, but as we saw, they were completely different. So I think for her to put that out there and like cause a stir right before someone gets cut wasn't the smartest. Granted, she was safe, but I don't know. I think she needs to be a little bit more careful.
So I don't think she has to be careful, but I'm like, okay, like I see what you're doing, Roxy.
But I'm confused. What did she do? I don't think she even said anything wrong. Like she didn't throw shade to the group. She was just talking to Plastique about both of them kind of going in the same direction. So
we know what that is.
No.
I heard it. I heard exactly what she was saying.
It was shade.
I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt. I don't think it was shade. I think she was just kind of talking.
She was being shady.
Play the clip, sis, because I don't remember shade. I recall her talking to Plastique, and it was.
And she said,
it was.
They don't talk like that. They don't talk all honky tonky. They don't have accents like that. That's where Vanjie was like, what are you talking about? Like from where I'm from, there's hillbillies, people in the trailer parks, kind of thing. And at the end of the day, they did do something different. But she was throwing shade. It was light shade. It wasn't nothing crazy. But when she said, you should know me better than that kind of thing, I was just like, and if I don't, like, what's going to happen? Kind of thing. But I know, again, Vanjie was just holding her tongue. She didn't want to cause no more tension or drama. But Roxy, again, she knows what she's doing. She's planting seeds everywhere. This is why I like Roxy, because at the end of the day, I'm going to be entertained. Like, as much as how dramatic and sometimes I don't agree with her moves, I'm going to be entertained. And honestly, I'm going to be quite honest. Like, this season has been a bore a little bit to me. Like, I'm enjoying it because I love Drag Race. But it is that conversation, like, since the stakes aren't as high or they're just doing it for charity, it does allow the queens to be a little bit more lax. And, that's my thoughts on it. What about you, Michael? Or Brenda, sorry. Whoever.
No, I was going to say, I agree. I think, like, a lot of the people are being more chill just because it is for charity and there's not, like, the knives behind people's backs like we usually see. So I agree with you, Keeks.
I'll say, let's not put everyone in the same group, though. I think there's some of these girls that are very much taking this very seriously. And I do think that there are some that are just like a little bit more like,
I don't think that they're not taking it seriously. Like,
no. Okay, maybe that wasn't the right word. Or are not like giving it their all. Because I honestly, okay, not just because she's my fave, but I would say Mick is like someone who's really like playing the game.
She is. Yeah, she is.
I feel like I feel like she really wants to win.
Yeah.
Like, she's not like here for fun. Like she's getting this crown in her head.
I mean, it's easier to have the opportunity to win when you do have designer brands that you're wearing on the runway.
Don't do that. Let's not
It's
discredit people
true.
because they have money.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
No,
It
don't
is
be
the
mad at my
truth.
girl.
When you got the
note,
when you got the context and the connects, I mean, hey, and on top of that, okay, like I do think that every queen here wants to win. Like they wouldn't come back if they wouldn't
of course
want to have the opportunity to win, obviously. And like these are all girls that have competed in other platforms before. Like Roxy is a pageant girl. Like other queens have also done. They know what it is. I just feel like because there's not the $200,000 for them to win themselves, I just feel like everybody's kind of like, let's just all be friends, kumbaya kind of thing. That's what I
have
mean.
A question for you, Keeks. I know Roxy's your fave, right?
So okay.
Or she's one of your girls.
She's one of okay, yes.
Do you not think that Roxy's here to just like kind of like have fun, get some camera time, throw a little shade, be a little messy boo?
No.
Come on.
Roxy wants to win. Roxy wants to win.
Of course,
she's made it
they
to the
all
final.
want to win.
No,
but I think
she's there to stir shit up. Yes, I do agree with that. Like she is one of those people that is going to stir up stuff. But I don't think Roxy is there to just be there for fun and just stir drama.
She definitely wants the crown, but her prerogative and what's filling her right now is these little messy situations, in my opinion, I think. But maybe not. It's okay. That's why I wanted to ask you though, because I know you know her like well, and that's your girl. So I just wanted to.
Yes,
you guys are besties. So.
And can I also just add, just as a viewer, I think seeing Roxy's look so far, I have not been wowed by, I'm sorry, any of them that she came out on the runway with. I think, in my opinion, what she brought on All Stars 2 was better. And that was years ago. So like I was looking for the evolution when she came back on, and I'm just not getting that. I think she's just not giving me what I expected Roxy to give me years after All Stars 2. That's being nice. Not fucking down on anyone.
I can agree with that. I just don't think I think comparing it to All Stars 2, that's a different time. The caliber, like you got to look at the overall packages these people are bringing, like in comparison to Plastique, who brought a $250,000 package of wardrobe. Nobody's gonna beat that. I'm sorry. The queens are not beating Plastique when it comes to the runway looks. Period. And I don't think that's in like I get it. I do agree with you though. I'm not in love with her overall package or her wardrobe. I will say that as well. But in comparison to Plastique, like you got to think about it, like what the girls were bringing on All Stars 2, we're beyond that at this point. Like we have surpassed that in so many levels. I don't even think girls can really bring that unless like they're on the main show, and even then they're getting judged out the ass for bringing like, I guess, less than packages or not as extravagant packages. What are you gonna say, Michael?
I was just gonna say, I just feel like it's a little it's like a hard juggle, because I mean I think it's really cool that designers are working with queens now, and like they're getting all these looks and custom pieces made. Do you know that the look that Mick wore for the perfume challenge was a custom Jonathan Anderson Loewe bodysuit? The only person that Loewe has ever done custom for now in the world is Gottmik and Beyonce. Like literally that's it. They've never made anything else custom for any single person in the world. Like that's really, really a big deal. Especially like, I mean, with my fashion like knowledge background, I know how big of a deal that is. Yes, it's money, but you also can't fault queens for investing everything that they have into these looks. I mean, yes, these things are expensive, but they have the money to do it. So you can't be a hater. If I had the money to get a custom Jonathan whatever Loewe bodysuit that only Beyonce has, I'm doing it too. Don't be mad at me with your TJ Maxx. That's not my problem. You know?
I have to also add, like, even though she has access to designers, Gottmik has a vision that she constantly executes. So you can have all of the designers at your fingertips. If you don't know your style, what you want to
Or your
present,
brand.
like a vision, yeah, like it doesn't matter. I like you can wear whatever you want, it won't work. But she's very, very structured into a certain look, and that's what makes her so interesting. So she has designers, she still executes it flawlessly.
Yeah. And we've also seen queens who do not have big budgets still eat the girls down. So I
Oh, for
really
sure.
do the designers make that big of a difference? I've seen designer things and I was like, oh, that's boring. You know what I mean? That queens have worn on the stage, you know? So it's just like designer doesn't always mean better, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure. I do understand that. And moving on to the runway. Actually, before we do, we're gonna look at Rue, Michelle, Alec, and Carson Kressley. I hated this wig on Rue. Oh my god, I hated it. I was like, Rue, what the hell is happening with these bangs? But whatever, Michelle, she looked lovely. I did like Michelle. Like, I love when she obviously emphasizes the silver streak, the gray streak in her hair. And then, Alec Mappa, hey, nice seeing you. And then Carson. That's all.
Yeah, Michelle looked good. The guys they're wearing black, fine. Rue, I don't know what her thought process was for putting this wig on, but I never want her to have one of those days again because what was that? Because I even tried to like back it up and like maybe she was going for like, Barbie. So like she had the Barbie plastic looking hair and all this forgiven. But then I was just looking at it over and over again and I was like, I can't forgive that. Like you know better. You
It
are
didn't even
that
look
girl.
on. The
It
wig
didn't.
didn't even look on.
It looked like she woke up backstage 5 minutes ago, threw it on, and walked out. Like I was like, what is happening?
I have to agree. I think nothing worked with Rue. I think the hair, the makeup, the look, the outfit, the dress, it was it sounds like it's time to fire her stylist or whoever's helping her get ready because it's really not working. Look after look, Rue. You're too fabulous for this.
So I have a really
You'll be
big
surprised.
problem. I have a really big problem with this. It's really giving hate crime. It's Pride Month. I cannot believe that Rue stepped out on the stage looking like this. Honestly, I've never seen Rue look bad from the neck up. We've always seen, okay, dresses that we don't like, okay, whatever. But face is always giving and hair is always there. This is the first time from the wig down that Rue has not ate. And I don't ever want to see this again, RuPaul. If you're watching, I know you're not. I never, ever, ever want to see this again.
Yeah, Rue ain't watching none of this shit.
We don't know.
Rue
She
don't-
might.
No,
Rue, this was not okay.
Rue doesn't
not
even
okay.
know the contestant's name without them telling her in her earpiece, please.
I know
But-
RuPaul don't care about me, but either way, it was just I was so shook. I've never seen her look bad from the neck up. It always gives. It always gives, and this time it just didn't. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, I agree. But I have seen her look bad in previous seasons, but it's fine. We're not gonna go back. It's fine. All right. Oh God. Oh. All right. So the theme of the runway was day to night reveal. And we started off with Nina West. And oh Nina.
Can someone just give me a little hope? Like on her previous seasons, was she better?
No.
Or just having
this is better. This is better.
Okay, so then no comment. Next.
Okay. If she would have done like this, is it like a nun or what? Like the Salem? Is that what
the nun? It's a nun.
Time period?
Yeah,
it's a nun. Okay.
Yeah.
I should know. I went to Catholic school, but if she would have had this look and didn't have like this big thing sticking out in the silhouette of it, like it just ruined it for me.
Yeah.
I was like, what? This looks messy. Like,
Right, because it was the
sure
shoulder look
enough.
under it.
Yeah, but sure enough, you could have had it looking better before you hit the runway and it looked like that. And I've been very nice to Nina, but I need Nina to step it up because you can't always rely on your comedy for everything. Like, you have to also look good, and this just looked a mess. I'm sorry. Like, come on now. This is All Stars 9.
No. No. Not only no, but absolutely not. No. That's all.
Hell no. Yeah. And we'll keep it at that, Nina. And yes, I agree with Michelle's critique about why did you have that on your shoes? Like, that should have been taken off. Like, oh my God. Okay. Anyway, moving on from Nina. Okay, we're going to Chanel. How did y'all feel about Chanel's look? Go ahead, Lina.
I thought it was okay. It definitely didn't wow me. I thought it was, her transition from day to night was nice. I don't really have any other comments. It's Chanel. Like, I feel like it looks like her. Like, I love to see her do something out of the box. Mind you, I'm a new drag race fan. Like, so for me to already kind of be bored with her looks, it's like, okay, I need you to do something different,
I will say though, like, for the day to night outfit, she didn't lose her shape. Like we were just talking about Nina. She gave the proportions that needed to be given. And yeah, we know what Chanel produces and we know what Chanel gives. I think this was very on brand for her. And I thought she looked good.
So, and honestly, agreeing with you guys, I think the construction of this was done very well. I thought the way that it like unfolded and became the gown was cool. I don't think the gown was that cool, and I don't think the daytime look was that cool. I mean, I thought the transition was pretty like cool, and that's hard to construct something that does that. So I give her kudos for that, but I don't think it's spectacular by any means. It's Chanel.
Cool. Thank you.
Alrighty. Okay. In the spirit of getting through this shit fast, we're just gonna, obviously, go ahead. Whoever wants to go ahead and say their praises, because what is there to say about
Kill
this?
Kill it. Effortless.
Mother
please.
8 down.
Everything. Yes.
She tied this in beautifully. I think she looked great. Chromatica nod to that, like perfect, like 8.
And I believe this outfit was fully like 3D printed. I think she said, like, so sick, insane technology, fashion, art, slay,
And the hair.
Yeah, beautiful
hair, all of it.
Can I just add one more comment? I know she loves to emphasize like Asian heritage and like her background, but this girl gives you a different look every time on the runway. Like, granted, there's a theme, but she genuinely blows my mind every time she walks down. She never gives you the same thing twice, not even close.
And what's so spectacular is that she incorporates her culture every time, and it's never ever repetitive. It's always different, and that is iconic.
Okay, we're gonna move on from Plastique. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get through this. I know we loved it. To something that I'm sure none of us really loved. Roxy, girl, this 50s housewife day and night. I mean, shout out to you. Kudos to you for constructing it and doing it yourself. I will give you that. But it's a chop for me. Go ahead, Brandon.
So again, great that it was a cool reveal how she had the coat and then she put it backwards and it was reversible. Great. I just don't, it it doesn't look great. Like, I don't know. Like, if I saw this on a regular contestant on their regular season, I would not like it. Like, I
You
expect
think
more
so?
from Roxy. Yes, I
I
would
think we
expect
would have
more.
liked it. I think we would like it more if it was a regular season, but since it's All Stars, I definitely don't
At
like
this
it.
point, I've seen so many better reveals that like this was just like, it's okay. It doesn't. If it glowed or if it did something, then
Oh,
maybe I would be like, oh, okay, that was cool. But like, it didn't do anything. And I get it; she makes everything, so I don't want to take that away from her because again, kudos to you. But like, I'm waiting for the moment.
yeah, I agree. Go ahead, Lena. You had anything?
No, I agree completely with Brandon. I think the best part of it was how seamless the transition was from day to night. But in terms of the look, good job for making it, Roxy, for sure.
Go ahead, Michael. What did you want to say?
So for me with this, I think, obviously props for making it, but Roxy, we've also seen other things that you've made. So I'm not gonna big up you for this because I know you could do better. Um, I do think the transition from day to night, like how it was turn the jacket inside out, I guess. I didn't think it was that monumental. Like all she did was turn the jacket inside out and now and leave the jacket open. Like I don't think it was that gaggy. But yeah, I mean, credit to her for making it. But again, we know what you can do. So this kind of fell flat for me.
Okay, Roxy. Maybe for the next one, we'll see. All right, moving on to Gottmik. I'm gonna go to Gottmik's number one fan, Michael. Go ahead.
Okay, so with this, I thought this looked great. I thought it looked polished, but it wasn't spectacular or anything so crazy. And I think this is a good example of you don't always have to be so over the top to like hit the nail on the head for a challenge. It was unexpected. I'm sure everyone expected her to take off the jacket and there'll be something under or something. So when she just turned around and that was the main moment, I thought that was cool. Cute. Not her best runway, in my opinion. Obviously, this season she's done some crazy, amazing things, but this is cool. I thought this was one of the cooler ones of the night for sure.
And Lena, I saw
I'm
that you
glad
were
you guys.
agreeing. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Brandon.
No, I was just gonna say I'm glad you guys are like being realistic with your faves tonight. So
Says, you know what? We gonna keep it calm for Brandon because he got a lot to say when we be going in on him about his fave on another show that we be covering. But it's okay. Don't worry, we got that ass for the next review over there.
You
but all
lucky,
I'm saying is
Brandon.
this.
You lucky it's God's day because you need to shoot with your comments today.
Well, what I was gonna say is this was cute. It wasn't anything mind blowing, but I think I'll give her a pass this week because she's been pretty much carrying with Plastique for the whole entire season, so it's fine.
Go ahead, Lena. I know that you thought that she was gonna take it off instead of like show her backside. How did you feel about that?
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. I completely agree with Michael. Like, I was the viewer expecting her to, and I was like, damn, it's gonna take her a long time to transition out of that. So to me, I'm sorry. I think she had one of the funnest reveals where she literally just turned around and it's like, hey, like, yeah, Brandon, okay, sweet.
No,
Who was your?
I
No,
had
not
to
you.
remind myself
I was
that
talking
Lena
about Brandon.
hasn't seen this done before either. We've seen this done before on the runway. So I think that's
Okay.
why we're kind of like not
What
as
was it
like
again?
wowed. It's been done at least twice before. So
Okay.
but I think the coolest thing about this look was the fact that it was slicked in the front like a men's haircut style, and then in the back it was like the long, almost like a woman's hairstyle. So I did like that, but yeah, I guess I wasn't as wowed as you, Lena, like as this is your first time seeing a look like that because of that reason. Like we've seen it on other franchises or just on the US season before. I can't remember exactly who though.
Didn't Monet do it once? Wasn't it Monet?
I can't tell you right now. I know season
Yeah,
7
I
had
don't
like
know.
the season 7 had the half woman, half man type thing. I feel like Violet
Maybe
did
that's what I'm
something
thinking
similar,
of.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
I think that's what it is. But all right, moving on from Gamik, we're going to Georges. Lina, you can go ahead and start since Georges is your fave.
I love Georges. I'm gonna start with that. This is my girl, but I thought this was a complete and utter fail for day and night. I didn't like either looks. I'll be honest. I didn't like the hair on her. I didn't. I know. I don't know. I
No,
really
all of
wanted
us like,
to. I
you didn't
really
like the
wanted
hair?
to. I feel like this. I didn't like any of it. I don't know. Something about this look to me, I did not like. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I personally, it was a chop for me.
What about you, Rita? What do
Okay,
you
I
think?
don't think it was a complete chop. I think like one of the judges said on the panel, like, I don't know where you were going during the daytime with that outfit, but I kind of get it because there are some of those girls that be showing up to brunches in these little dresses that are, you know, trying to show out. I get it. Yeah, Michael. And I think the hair was the best part of her outfit. Like the hair looked great on her. So
Yeah,
I don't know. But
yeah, the
again, it
hair was
wasn't
also
anything
it for me.
spectacular. Yeah.
I
I
love
just
the hair.
go ahead, Michael.
No, I was gonna say she's giving the curly Latina hair. Like it gave. I was buying what she was selling. But I will say her daytime look, obviously, like not my fave. But after that, when she did her reveal, she looks like a showgirl in Vegas. I thought it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it was spectacular or incredible, but she looked great.
Yeah, it looks like something Georges would wear. Obviously, the nighttime look, the daytime look. I'm like, it might as well have been a towel. Like, I just didn't understand why it looked like that. I didn't, and I was like, why white? And why like the part of the shoulder like so thick? Like, I wish it was like thinner. I don't know. Like, I just didn't really vibe with it with the daytime look. But of course, like Georges always knows how to sell a garment. I will give them that. But I love the hair. I cannot believe Lena didn't like the hair. That was literally all of us were like, what? But all right, moving on.
That was the only good thing on the outfit. Like that was
Right.
good. I was like, oh my god, what?
Moving on to Angeria. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I like the daytime look more than the nighttime look.
100% agree. 100%. I
I
hate
was
the
just
skirt that she released. Yeah.
I was just like, okay, and she didn't really have anything. She was like, it just reveals to a gown, and I did agree with the the judges' critiques about the head wrap being like just in black. If she was gonna lose the pattern on the skirt, yeah, aside from that, like she always looks very regal, and again, another person that can sell a garment and knows how to walk on the runway. But yeah, I definitely like the daytime look over the nighttime look. How did y'all feel about this?
I think so. When I first saw it before the judges spoke, in my opinion, I think the head wrap was fine being patterned. I think because she had two different patterns on her dress, it was just clashing for me. So sure, the daytime could have been the two patterns, but then when she dropped it, if it was all black or vice versa, I think it would have blended more and it would have not been such an eyesore, in my opinion. But it was just too much going on, and it was taking away from the creativity of it.
How did you feel
So
about it, Michael?
So for this look, honestly, I feel like this is 4 different looks stitched together. I feel like it's a little too all over the place. I mean, Andrea, obviously her face looks gorgeous. I love her hair. But I just the garment did not sell me. Yeah, I can't there's nothing else that I can say besides no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no to the look. The face is done though, and
Face
I
is
do like
done.
face
Hair,
up.
I love the hair. The hair, the
Yeah.
face, and even the silhouette didn't bother me. The puffy arm, like that was cool. But I feel like again, the colors, the patterns, it felt like a few different garments sewn together.
Yeah, I could see that definitely. All right, moving on from Angie. Okay, we're going on to Vanjie. And Vanjie did a Pretty Woman reference, and I love this. I did not expect this from Vanjie at all. Vanjie looks so good as a redhead. Oh my god. I mean, again, we've been talking about Vanjie's like mug and their hair, the wigs, everything that they brought, like wig-wise, has been so spectacular. But I love this. How did y'all feel about this? Go ahead, Brandon.
So for me, when I first saw her come out, I was like, oh, okay. And I was interested because, it's all buttoned up here. I was like, how's she gonna what's she gonna reveal? And I knew she obviously was giving a Pretty Woman reference, but I was still like engaged with it. And then when she came out with the red dress, I was like, oh, and again, I say this every episode. I don't think I've ever seen her look more beautiful. And I think she topped it in this episode. Like the makeup, the hair, the outfit, the silhouette, everything. Like she looked gorgeous. And even in Untucked, I forgot which queen said it. I think maybe Plastique had mentioned it. She was like, "You look beautiful, Vanjie," and I could not disagree.
Lena?
It was very different for Vanjie. And I think that was was so intriguing. Like all of the other episodes, I've picked her style, I get her trend. This was so different. And yes, I have to agree. In red, she is flawless in that red gown, perfectly fits her. She looked great. She was definitely one of my favorites of the night.
She put her whole puss into this mug. Do you understand me? She has never, ever, 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 ever looked more flawless than this. Her face, the contour, the shading, the red hair, the red gown, the Pretty Woman reference. Everything was so perfect. And I don't think she has ever had like a stronger runway moment than this, I feel, on Drag Race. I think this was her time to like really pop off, and she definitely did it. So proud of her. I've been waiting for this. Perfect. 10 out of 10.
This was her look. Like when you think
Yeah.
of Vanjie, you're gonna remember this as one of her best looks for sure.
The only critique that I have, the only thing that I have is I just didn't like the fact that she had to go all the way to the back of the stage to change. That was my only critique. I felt like it was like a little awkward, that little moment. But aside from that, I loved. I just thought like it was something that like with the
That's
reveals
a
or
reach.
I don't think so, because with the reveals, most of the time they happen at the center of the stage. So I just felt like her going all the way back was a little awkward. Like I don't know if she had to do that for whatever reason. Because they do get to walk the stage twice. So I'm wondering like if it was just the better outtake. I don't know. But I did think that was a little off.
I know. I actually have to agree with you, Keeks, because when I saw her walking all the way back, I was like, is she not going to show the night? What did I miss? So I definitely understand what you're saying, like where she literally started the runway over again. I just assumed just because she didn't want her bags in the way. So, but
yeah,
she looked good.
It could be that too. Yeah, I don't really know. But I'm sure she'll answer eventually. She's active. She'd be telling everybody stuff on Twitter. All right, so those were the runways, and we get into the little commercials, and the first group is Chanel and Nina, and they are Pretty Dead Realty. I'm just gonna pick somebody to speak their mind on that one. Go ahead, Brandon. Actually, what did you think about Pretty Dead Realty? Or actually, I'm gonna go to Michael since Michael said he would pick Salem.
I think they did a good job. I feel like they fit the brief. I feel like they were funny. They bantered off of each other well. They looked decent, I guess. I mean, it was a little costumey, the looks, but I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like they did what they needed to do. It was funny. Yeah, I don't really have anything negative to say. I feel like they were pretty strong, I think, in the competition with this one. So,
Brandon?
Yeah, I would agree. I think I expected a little bit more, to be honest, especially from Nina, but it was okay for me. It was a cute save.
I'm actually surprised because I felt like Nina was carrying it, but like I did think that out of the groups they had the most setups, like actual like jokes and punchlines. I did appreciate
That's
that.
why I
It
think
felt like, yeah,
I expected more. Like,
got you.
so when I watched it back, I was like, because when we saw them setting up, I was like, oh, this is gonna be like really good. But then when I saw it and watched it back, I was like, okay.
Okay, got you. Yeah, I do agree that they definitely were, I think, runner up for me. Like I think they were high up there. But again, I think their runways held them back. Unfortunately. All right, so then we have Keep a Cummins Real Estate with Roxy and Plastique. Lena, how did you feel about this one?
Oh, they killed it. Like they killed it. Like I think they played off of each other so well. Surprisingly, actually, to be honest, I didn't think they were going to do well. Like when I saw them paired up and when I saw that they had Texas and when Plastique practiced her accent, I was like, oh man, this is going to be a whole mess. But I was surprisingly entertained. I was entertained with them filming it. I was entertained watching the whole commercial. They did great. And I think the fact that Roxy wasn't too much, like she didn't try to overshadow Plastique, right? She wasn't like attention is on me, was good because then it would have clashed too much. So she let Plastique be the star of that commercial, and she absolutely was.
Yeah, there
They
was
played
definitely
into each other's characters like really well.
y'all are gonna be surprised, but I did not find this one. I was like,
Really?
okay. I found it very awkward actually. But like Plastique, she did surprise me. She did surprise me. She was very outrageous, like completely unexpected. Um, and I think that is what led to the judges, obviously, and her runway, hella, giving her the win. I think they would have given the win more to Plastique than Roxy if they did it individual wins. Because Plastique surprised them so much, but I did not find this funny. Like, I don't know what it is. Like a Rue made a comment about like he felt that Pretty Dead Realty like just kept going on the same type of jokes or whatever. And I was like, I felt like that was kind of similar. And something that I wanted to point out that they did was I don't know if y'all caught that they did the hissing while you pissing reference from the girl group challenge from Angeria and Chanel's group. And they put shitting while you pissing, shitting while you pissing. And I was over here like, did Angeria and Chanel know that they were gonna do that? Because Loki would have been like, hold on.
It sounded like your girl has something out for Algeria. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, I mean, it might be, but I just thought that was interesting because I was like, hold on, like that's not even something that y'all did. Like y'all are not even referencing yourselves. But yeah, I did not find this as funny, y'all. I found it very cringe almost.
It's very shocking.
I'm
But
surprised.
I mean, I get where the cringe factor comes into.
I don't think they were funny, so to speak. Like it more had a smile on my face. I wouldn't say that I giggled at any point of the commercial. It was more like, oh wow, they're doing good. But I agree, it wasn't funny. I just think they played off of each other a lot better than any of the other two groups.
yeah, like even with me, like when I base my thing, like to be honest, I'm not laughing at any of these. I'm not gonna lie. None of these jokes were funny, in my opinion. But it's all about the banter and how things flow. And that's why I really thought Pretty Dead Realty would have won, because in my opinion, they were the most seamless and smooth. I thought Plastique was really cool to see her break out of the mold. And when I was watching, I was entertained for sure. But I wouldn't say that they deserved the win. Ooh.
Yeah,
I thought it was Pretty Dead Realty. I'm not gonna lie.
I thought if it was based off of the challenge, Pretty Dead Realty, and then I would have went with Angie and Vanjie. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I did not even think about Keep Cummins Real Estate. Like, I was just like,
So
I feel
I'll
like
disagree with you there. I think Plastique and Roxy did better than Vanjie and Angie.
I have a question
yeah.
after that once we get there. What were you gonna say, Lena?
But Pretty Dead Realty, I feel like did the same joke over and over again. Like it was, I don't know, like they definitely seamlessly flow. They played off of each other well, but to me, they were saying the same thing over and over and over. Like, we get it, haunted, scary, spooky, dead. Yes, next. Like that, to me, that was kind of my thing watching theirs. I was like, okay, it's all the same banter. Like, it's boring.
But
Whereas
the same could be said for Keepa Cummins Real Estate.
not really though. They were talking about her. They were talking about her pregnancy.
Shit in the shitter. And yada 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 yeehaw yowdy guys. And
I agree, Keeks. I agree.
We create our own commercial as a group?
no.
Our own challenge.
Wait, can we, let's just move on real quick to Sharon Tip Real Estate. Let's get them out of the way. That shit was trash. Nothing was funny.
Trash.
No. Oh my God, it was horrible.
There was no thought. There was no like vision. There wasn't like here's the punchline that's gonna put us over the top. And I didn't want to see the train wreck.
Yeah, that's fair.
It was cringy, and I just wanted to fast forward. That's all.
You, Lina?
Very painful. Yeah. No.
Yeah. Did not like it. And then we get to Swamp Pussy Realty. I have a question for y'all. Do y'all think y'all's opinion would have been different if y'all saw Vanjie and Angie's commercial first?
I personally thought they were both great. I think again, like
well, no, not
you know, I think
sorry.
Yeah. I think like well, no, I'm talking about Keep a Coming and Swamp
Pussy
Realty. Yeah.
Ooh.
I think they were I think they were both great. The thing is, I think Plastique just had like those little mannerisms that were just over the top that put them there. But I think comedic wise, like they were both like pretty good. I don't know. I really thought it was like a close race between them as opposed to the Pretty Dead Realty.
To be honest, if Vanjie would have just fixed her voice, they would have done so much better. Vanjie's voice sounding like that took me out of the whole fantasy. You didn't sound country. You sounded like you smoked 12 packs of cigarettes like a day. That's what it was giving. Like, yeah,
that's why she asked for the pack of cigs. No, but I get you. It's the same procedure.
Sure. But it was giving more like rather
it was
than like
too distracting. It was too distracting. Yeah. I was so focused on the way she sounded that honestly, I swear to you, I could not say a single thing she said. Because I was like, why is she doing that accent? Like, what is she trying to give me? Because it's, yeah, I completely agree. When she started with that voice, I was like, does she have a sore throat? Like, what's happening? Maybe we reshoot another day. But I did not like that. I didn't find them funny. You know, even like the cute little like steps together. I don't know. And I like both of them. I didn't get the commercial at all.
I actually thought that was funny. That was one of my notes. I was like the little James Brown little stepping or dancing, and then one of the funniest moments was when they was pouring out the liquor, and they were like, for Uncle Ray Dell. I thought that was funny. I don't know. I just felt like their version.
It was like a Medea movie.
Why? Because Angie's black.
No, it just reminded me of a Medea movie, and like the way that they do their comedy sometimes, where it's like corny, but like you still laugh. It was just very on par with that.
No. I will say that I just felt like Angie and Vanjie were more authentic in their countryness. If that makes more sense, that's what it is. Go ahead, Michael.
And
Sorry.
I would argue that they were even more funny joke wise. I would say so. I think that they were funnier than Plastique and Roxy. But again, Vanjie really took me out of the fantasy. And I feel like that's what really made me think Plastique and Roxy did better, because yeah, I wasn't lost in their performance, if that makes sense. Like I was like, it looked like two people acting. Like,
Yeah.
as opposed to like Pretty Dead Realty, honestly, they were giving the full embodiment of their characters. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I see where y'all are coming from for sure. And again, I do understand why like they Keepa Cummins got the basically it was because of Plastique. Like we'll just keep it as simple as that. But all right, moving on. So we find out that the winners of the week, the top 2 drag queens of the week are Roxy and Plastique. And they get to lip sync to Super Freaky Girl by Nicki Minaj. And I'm like, yay, finally, a decent song. And then we got that lip sync where none of them knew the words. They barely knew the words. They looked at each other.
Barely knew the words.
I watched the lip sync more than 3 times. Plastique was moving. She was dancing good, but she did not know the words. I looked at the fucking camera. She actually
I don't
stopped.
care. I will pay for a Plastique show over what Roxy gave. I don't understand how Roxy won. I was very
because
annoyed.
She knew the words more.
I don't care. She was doing the corny little, was the percolator dance or whatever. Like Hammer time. There you go. Sorry. But yeah, I was just like annoyed. I was like, come on, like give me something. Give me like something juicy. Like we're talking about Super Freaking Girl. Like give me and this outfit. What is this outfit? Throw it away. I don't know Roxy's outfit choices this season, but they're not giving. Plastique was giving the fantasy that needed to be given. I don't care if she didn't know the words. Like she could have said, "I'd like to keep it on, please," and I would have been fine with that because she was actually serving. Don't know what Roxy was doing, but apparently she knew the words and she won. That's all.
Yeah, she didn't. She knew the words more. And I think it's because of the fact that she made Ruin them laugh. Like ultimately that's what it comes down to. But they didn't, neither of them knew the words like that. So I think what Roxy did was smart was she hid her face when she didn't know the words. Whereas Plastique's face in the camera, she's flipping, moving her hair, and you could visibly see she's not saying shit. Watermelon, watermelon, watermelon. But go ahead, Lina.
No, I definitely agree. I think Plastique gave a better show, but if we're gonna go by lip sync, Roxy definitely took it. She knew more words, and you're right, she was strategic because when she didn't know the words, she would turn around and she would dance like with her. Very smart. I wish they would have done more for the song. This was like the first really fun song, so I was ready for them to break it down, and they could have done so much with it. But yeah, it is what it is. Definitely for me, if it's about performance, it would have gone to Plastique.
I'm just gonna put this out there. This is the worst that Roxy has ever looked. Period. I've never seen her look worse than this. The wig, the outfit, the shoe, the makeup, everything was a chop for me. Absolutely not. She lost the lip sync as soon as I saw her. No. But that aside, did she keep the girls entertained? Yes. Did she give a little dance, a little hammer time? Sure. Cute. Did I think she was the winner? No, in my opinion. I think that Plastique, yes, it is a lip sync, so I guess you do kind of have to know the words, I guess.
You have to know the words, y'all.
I guess, yes, for sure. But Plastique gave a show. I feel like Roxy was giving I hired you for my birthday party in my backyard kind of vibes.
Roxy was giving the what's the performer when someone has a show, the person that goes on beforehand?
A fill-in.
She was giving opener. She was giving opening act, and Plastique was the main one. Yeah. Very that.
She was giving understudy.
Well, for someone to be the main act, she better learn the words because this is not the first or second or probably the last time that we will see Plastique not knowing the words. Let me tell you that.
And this is
Plastique
not the
also,
first, second, or last time that we will see Roxy wearing something crazy.
okay, that's fair. That's fair. But I'm just saying, Plastique, you gotta learn the words, boo. You are a fabulous performer, but you gotta learn the
And
words.
Roxy,
Wait,
you gotta
You
wear
gotta turn
something
up the
that's gonna
looks.
entertain
You
us.
Really
Yeah.
quick.
just
really
because
quick.
I'm pointing something out about Plastique, don't mean we gotta
Wait,
tag Roxy now.
question. Did no one else think that when they saw this outfit on the stage? I literally
No, I
was
did
like,
think it was weird. I thought it was a weird look.
the camera panned to her, and I was like, what the I've never seen her look like that.
And then there was a point where like both of their hairs, like they were flipping their hairs and they both got caught in their hair. I was just like, what is it? It was a messy
It was a
lip sync.
mess. It was a mess.
But like again, like I just feel like if you're gonna be lip syncing, know the fucking words to the song, bro. Like it's not that hard.
So
Learn the
Roxy
fucking
did that.
words.
Roxy did that as her entrance look. That really low cut pants where it's like below. I have to say it doesn't look good on her. Like she's done it now twice. That look, sis, if you're listening to me, you can do so much better. That's not your look. That doesn't sit well on like your frame. It just makes her look very bulky. And then that takes away from everything.
Yeah, it was weird. Like the torso area, the hip area. I did think that was weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what was going on.
It cuts her legs really short.
Short.
So then her torso looks weirdly long.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just
at this point, just show us the ass. It's called Super Freaky Girl. Show us the ass. We know, make it jiggle. Like, do something that's gonna like go with the song. I take it back. I was very disappointed. I thought she was gonna do a reveal. Yeah, like
I want to redo.
I don't know.
And I want to redo with somebody else. Like I don't even want to redo with Plastic either. Plastic or Roxy. I want to redo of the song. After you just went in on Roxy, don't be me.
Oh, she's
what?
Offended.
I'm not offended. I'm just saying, like, you just went in on Roxy. You're telling me not to be mean. Like, okay, maybe you.
I was just speaking my truth. That's it.
Anyway, so Roxy ends up fucking winning the lip sync, and this whole thing happens. The last 5 minutes of this damn episode were a freaking whirlwind. I was just like, what is happening? Roxy's over here stressed out, like, oh my god, I'm not gonna look. And I'm like, sis, I know you could fucking see them. Like, and we're gonna talk about that. So Roxy decides that she is not going to face the women. She is going to go behind them and just pretty much look for Nina, so she knows not to cut Nina, and then go back and forth on the stage, even though there's a huge gap between Angie and Gottmik, and says that she's just gonna land on whoever. And go ahead.
Hold on, let me add. Not only is there a gap, but honey, as you're walking, you hear Angeria right where you stop telling you keep going, keep going. I'm sorry, but whatever she was trying to get attention for that, whatever she was trying to act innocent for that, I know that pissed the queens off because that pissed me off. I was like, cut it out. You know the game. You know the game. Cut it out.
You cannot tell me that she did not know exactly where Angeria was standing. Do not play with me. Like, it just seemed such BS. Like,
yeah,
it was such a fake moment. Like, why even do that? Like, that's
your
like
girl is stirring the pot.
Like,
yeah, she's stirring the pot.
For what? Because she knew
she
was gonna land
careful
on Angie. She knew she
I
was
don't
gonna
think she
like.
needs to be careful,
I'm sorry.
But the thing is, if you're gonna stir the pot, and if you're gonna do that, land on Angie and stick to Angie. Like, stir the pot. Don't stir the pot. Stop.
Start crying.
No, not
yeah.
Angie.
I live.
And then no.
I was literally like, all right, you landed on her. Yeah, either do it or don't. You landed on her, so give her the damn cut. Yeah,
it felt like a cop out. Do it if you're gonna be that. Are we cursing on this podcast?
Did you
If
not
you're
hear
gonna-
me? I already said fuck.
If
shit,
you're gonna
da, da, da.
be that bitch, be that bitch. Don't back
Exactly.
out and try to seem like, oh, it wasn't
I
me.
didn't
I'm so
see
sorry.
anybody.
Wrong part, wrong spot. Shut up.
Yeah,
It just
I
rubbed me
didn't
the
believe
wrong
that she would
way.
say it.
Like,
But
I
what was
am
the reason
excited.
though?
I'm excited to see the queens like at the beginning of the next episode because even Gomic was like, you know who we were, you know where everyone was, like, and she did. Please,
She
Yeah.
did.
Like,
Yeah, I agree with y'all. I definitely think like if she was gonna choose Angie, just choose her, and Angie, get your
Keep it moving.
motherfucking lick back. Honestly, Angie, if you win next week, I hope you get your fucking lick back. Like I truly do. Honestly, y'all should all be gunning for Roxy. At
well,
this point.
I think absolutely whoever wins next week will cut Roxy. And what their excuse will be is that she has the most badges, which makes sense,
Mhm.
right? Like that's a good excuse. But the only person I would say may not cut her is like Nina.
Nina.
But otherwise,
Plastique is her.
no, I think
best
Plastic,
friend
they're
there.
friends, but I think Plastic would cut her.
But we also
Yeah.
don't foresee
I don't think
Lina
so.
winning any challenges, so I think we'll be fine.
I mean, she does
Ooh.
she does have a benefactress badge, so she
Oh,
might
Nina.
win. And the next episode is the roast.
We'll see.
Oh, Nina might kill that. Nina
Maybe I
definitely will
will
kill
too.
that.
We will see.
And
We'll
remember,
see.
remember, we still have a Rusical to go. There's a Rusical coming.
That's true. That's
So-
true.
What's a rusical?
It's a musical.
Oh my
a
god,
Rusical.
it's a musical, like a whole Broadway production.
No, the
like a
play on words into it.
Oh, you didn't know that it's reveal. It's reveal, not reveal. It's reveal.
It's
the
Ruveal,
category.
Redemption, Rusical.
I'm
Like
gonna change my name. I'm gonna keep my name. I'm gonna change my vocabulary and somehow incorporate Lina in everything I say. Like,
Okay.
I don't know how, but I will.
Okay. We'll see how that goes for
Reveal
you.
yourself.
Wait, I do want to make a comment. What the hell was going on with Chanel's wig? What
Wait,
the hell was that?
They all had the most insane costume changes
What was
for no
Nina
reason.
wearing?
Nina
They
was
panned
dressed
back
up
to
for
the
Chanel's
stage, and I was
house.
like, "What the fuck?"
First of all,
Yes,
when I
Nina
started
was
talking
dressed
about
Chanel's
for
house.
Chanel's house.
Yes.
Literally, Chanel's hair. What the hell was that?
I'm not
was
on mute,
like,
but I can't say anything. I don't know.
Go ahead.
No, I said I'm not on mute, but no words are coming out. I don't get their looks at all. Chanel? Oh, honey. Wow. All-star.
Like,
Okay.
why?
Wait, but I'm living for Chanel's name belt though. I'm not gonna hold you. I have one of those.
The name belt?
Okay, the name
We
belt.
all had those name belts at one point in our lives. No
Yeah,
one played
yeah.
games.
Come on, I had two of them. I was not playing, but yeah. So the last 5 minutes were crazy. Gomic ends up getting cut. Gomic's like, stop, it's okay, don't cry. And honestly, like this.
So annoying.
I know. It was so dramatic, but honestly, like it entertained me. Like I needed the pick me up. It was getting a little stale at certain points, a little dry, but this had me dying.
The entertainment was there.
But anyways, yeah, how did y'all feel about Gomic being chosen and pretty much being the one to get the cut?
I think Gottmik is really like, at this point, she knows it's a competition. She's not like phased by it. I really, in my heart of hearts, need the cutthroat, I hate to say this, but bitchy Roxy to come back and play the damn game. This whole like miscongeniality act that she's putting on, like, I don't want to hurt feelings. I get it. It's for charity and we're all like here to have a good time. No, give us the entertainment that we know you to give. Like, we already forgave you for the whole like season with Jinx. Like, you were mean. We get it. But there's also a way to be mean and like make it fun,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, give us that. Like, this whole like act like, oh, I didn't mean to leave that to Valentina to give us the novella. You can't do that. I'm sorry.
Of course, so leave it to him to bring up Valentina. What about you,
living with
Michael?
him. Imagine living
My
with him.
girl.
You have no idea. I feel like, I mean, I get why Roxy ended up choosing Mick, I guess, front runner. But also, like, I kind of wish she would have just stuck with Angeria. Give us the realty. Give us the drama. Give us the the fights. Give us the arguments. Like, that would have been an untucked honey if they would have stuck with, if Roxy would have stuck with Angeria. Like, that's what we want to see. Give it to us. Like Brandon said, if you're gonna be Roxy, be Roxy. So that's all.
Lena?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Same sentiments. Like, I thought the whole end play was dramatic for no reason. It wasn't even good drama. I really do wish she would have stuck with Angie. I really, really do. I think it would have been really good entertainment, and I think it would have ruffled all of the queen's feathers, and I think we would have seen a very different competition going forward. But this like sneaky thing she's doing is just, I don't know if it's Roxy, but to me it's not working.
You know what would have really been would have shook the competition if she cut Chanel. I am waiting for Chanel to pop off. I cannot wait. I need one of those moments from season 1 where she feels overlooked.
That would have been so nasty.
So nasty.
Give me that.
But Roxy, thank you for at least providing something to give the fandom to like really talk about aside from the looks, because obviously the fandom is going crazy. Like, yes, you may not agree with how she went about it. You may not believe her. We don't believe that she didn't know, but I was entertained for the last 5 minutes, like thoroughly entertained, because I was just like, what the hell is happening? I was very confused, and it is what it is. This one was one of the better episodes. Honestly, the episodes really haven't been that bad. I just feel like there hasn't been any sort of tension or drama, and that's what I want to see. So I would give this episode like an 8.5, 8. How did y'all feel about it?
I'll give it like a 6. I don't love these competitions. I like when they get more creative in like the singing or dancing department. The acting is not really my gig, but again, they all did good, so kudos to them. But just for me, I would give it like a 6.
Michael?
I would say I would give it like an 8 for the drama. Like, you know, the little stirs Roxy calls and the little back and forth. I'll give it an 8, I'd say. Not bad.
I would give it an 8 too. I think there was a little more drama than we've seen so far. You know, it was interesting to see them in a different aspect, like with this comedy / acting improv. But I know that the roast is next week from the preview, so I'm excited for that. Like, I'm really excited. I think Angeria is going to do really well. Like, honestly, I know you guys are excited for Nina, but I feel like low key, because Nina can deliver a joke, but I think Angeria can deliver a roast. Like, I'm excited for that.
Also, not only Angeria, but don't sleep on Vanjie either, because she might come out and rip these girls, and it might be fucking hilarious. So
I'm not gonna lie, I'm so worried for my girl. Georges, I'm sending you a prayer. I'm gonna dedicate my prayers to
honestly, if the girls, like, if they did their homework, they would have gotten somebody to write some jokes for them. Honestly, like, there's too many queens in the fandom that are willing to do so and help them out and have helped other queens in the past. So hopefully they, at least once they found out who was going to be on cast with them, they came with some jokes ready.
You know what it is though? Will she be able to deliver the joke? Because I think that's the thing. I think she, even if she has jokes written, Georges needs to work on delivery, because there's a certain punch you have to give it at a certain time, and she doesn't always have that. So,
and you know what it also is. I don't know if you've seen like her season, Lina, but I think the problem with Georges is that once she like fumbles, she doesn't have a good recovery. She's like thinking about it, and it just throws her off, and that's like her downfall. Hopefully, like, she's changed from her original season, but if anything, I would say that's like what will hold her back.
But all right, y'all. That's all for tonight. Thank you all for watching Reality Unloaded podcast as we cover Drag Race All Stars 9, episode 5, Property Queens. Please make sure to hit that like button, share, comment, and subscribe. And make sure to follow us on Instagram at Reality Unloaded Pod and TikTok at Reality Unloaded Podcast. And just be on the lookout for more to come. For those that are still watching All Stars 4 Challenge with us, we're almost there. We're at the finish line. There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes. We also know that All Stars 5 is currently filming, which is insane. But yeah, be on the lookout for more things from us, and have a good night, everybody. Bye.
Bye.